Morning, everyone. Sanibonani, welcome to my channel, Uthando Nesthembu, and on this channel, sikhuluma reality TV shows, celebrities, kanye YouTubers. If it's your first time joining me today and you really like the content over here, do not forget to press the subscribe button, and the notification bell. Guys, we are reviewing episode 10 of. Why am I hearing myself? So, let me shut myself up over here before we start because I think I have my video open. Yes, you guys. So we are reviewing episode 10 of Uthando Nesthembu. We come here and talk about everything that happened on the show. If this is not your kind of content, make sure that you move over to the other, to other people's content or other videos on this channel. But here we talk about the show and we go through everything that happened on the show. And all of the comments are welcome in the comment section, you guys. We're going to have some fun. But I have a question for you. It's Easter weekend. Why are you guys not at church? Why are you not at church? It's 9 o'clock. There's no, you're going to say you're still going. It's in the morning. Go. You're supposed to go and listen to this. Amazwa isikhombisa. Anikho ngani esontweni. Subulelo Mashabela. Good morning. Good morning. Anna. Hello. When are you going to church? And I know you do go to church. Have liked already, please like the stream, you guys. We are on YouTube, on Facebook, and Twitter. Wherever you're joining us, make sure that you like the stream. Mpo Laura, hello, Mpo. Why are you not at church today? Good morning to you, to my Dano. Good morning, you guys. So we're going to talk about everything that happened in episode 10, you guys. Listen, I did ask last week, and I was like, when I find out that MaKhumalo wanted to sit down with MaNgwabe and explain to her why she did not go to MaKhumalo's umembeso, I was like, that's weird. Why are you explaining it to MaNgwabe? But you guys, when I compare, Lungi, TV, when I compare conversation kaMaKhumalo no MaNgwabe, the conversation kaMaKhumalo, thanks. Conversation kaMaKhumalo no MaNgwabe, the conversation kaMaKhumalo no MaKhumalo, I understood why MaKhumalo still needed to have a conversation with MaNgwabe so that she could explain it. Because I feel like with MaKhumalo, I guess maybe because she had feelings about her not coming to her event, umembeso wakhe. Maybe she wasn't willing to listen as much. She had things to say. And so it was hard for her to understand, even though MaKhumalo was trying to explain to her. And I do feel like because MaKhumalo is like a motivational speaker, I do feel like even when she's speaking to her family members, which is her sister wives, she becomes motivationally. I don't know if there's that way. Yeah, it's a motivational speaker, like Maukuluma, they want to return, but we also have our own relationship instead of just sitting and listening to the person, because at the end of the day, in order for you to work on your relationship, you want to understand you did not attend my event. Why? So that moving forward, I understand it. So the difference with MaNgwabe was that MaNgwabe did not have any negative feelings about it. Of course, she was shocked that MaKhumalo no Yeni did not attend, but she was willing to listen. She just sat there and she listened and she asked questions when there was a need to ask questions, and then she responded. Okay. And I liked it, you guys, because at the end of that conversation, I don't feel like I need to ask MaKhumalo anymore about why she did not go to MaKhumalo's wedding or umembeso. And if umembeso kaMaNgwabe happens too, because she does say, another thing that I called you here for is because I want you to understand why, so that MaNgwabe, when she has her own umembeso, now she won't have an issue now, because MaKhumalo is not going to go, and that is going to be big again. Okay. So she says that after Yena no MaKhumalo, they sat down and they had a conversation. By the way, you guys, I cannot speak Zulu only on this channel because I do have viewers from all over South Africa. Some don't speak Zulu because some people will say, why reviewer Uthando Nesthembu? Guys, I have viewers from all over South Africa, but I also have viewers all over the world. Okay, believe it or not. So not everybody speaks Zulu. So sizobhidilisha la ngesingisi, okay? So what was I saying? Okay, so she said that she feels like MaKhumalo was not ready to hear her out. She was not ready to understand her reasons for not going to her event. I do feel like that because maybe later on when they have a conversation again, MaKhumalo will be ready to hear uMacele out. Okay, so that conversation didn't go as well. Okay. So she says, remember last week she explained ukuthi they had made promises with Mseleku ukuthi she was not going to attend anything that had to do with Mseleku taking a wife after 20th anniversary. But she felt like when uMaKhumalo was having umembezo wakhe, nothing else mattered to Mseleku except for ukuthi uMacele had to go to umembezo kaMaKhumalo. It was like all of the promises that they had set down and promised each other, the agreements that they had between uMacele nomyeni wakhe uMusa, all of that didn't matter. All uMusa wanted was for uMacele to go to umembezo. And she says, even though it did not matter to Musa Mseleku ukuthi they had made those promises, those agreements, but it mattered to her because, she was waiting after 20 years, she was going to get what she was supposed to get in terms of, umshado, she was supposed to get the white wedding and all of that. And so she was waiting for that and it never happened, okay? But Musa knows very well why she did not go to umembezo kaMaKhumalo, okay? Listen, you guys, MaNgwabe is one of the few wives that would speak the truth as far as Musa Mseleku is concerned, because she says, listen, I've been here, Mseleku, long enough to understand ukuthi Musa is all about himself, okay? So whether he promised you something, whether you had agreements with him or something, if you want something, it's all about him. It's all about his feelings, So even though I did not understand why MaKhumalo, but I knew you had your reasons, that's what MaNgwabe is saying. And MaNgwabe went on to say, listen, this family is never going to have peace. We're never going to live peacefully with each other. And the only reason for that is ubaba wala because I guess we are together, guys. Because I do feel like even Musa could have explained it to MaKhumalo. Because actually, MaKhumalo, we're having an issue here with Mamkhulu because that thing would have solved so many problems and issues if they just spoke, okay? If he just said to MaKhumalo, actually, I do understand why Umacele engezi to your wedding, okay? Anyway, you guys, MaNgwabe is expressing what she feels like Mseleku as a leader is the one that is supposed to keep the peace, but he's not, And I feel like that, you guys, because he said there, you remember the very last diary session they did, MaKhumalo and Mseleku, he said there and said, you know what? Don't serve these people that don't like you, When he knew that it wasn't because they didn't like her, especially with uMacele. Of course, Umayeni has a different reason. But he sat there and pretended as if his wives didn't go because they didn't like MaKhumalo when he knew that it wasn't because of that. And they had conversations with uMacele. That's why MaNgwabe is saying, listen, the reason singing a piece like her, Mina, I'm convinced, you guys, that I think he likes it Mabe Ngazwani because then he can get away with a lot because they don't get to talk. When they come together, then he has a problem because he's fighting against four. But when they are individuals and they don't get along themselves, he can get away with a lot, okay? So I am convinced that it works for Indoda Nesthembu for the wives to not get along, okay? So, uMacele, guys, continues to say, now, what hurt me now after umembezo and in the meeting that I had with MaKhumalo when we sat down and we were discussing this whole thing is that MaKhumalo asked me a question, do I even recognize your guys' marriages? Okay, do I recognize umshado wakhe noMusa? Do I recognize owakho noMusa? Do I recognize okamayeni noMusa? And she says that she was hurt by that because she says, why would I go to court? Because remember, you guys, uMacele had a civil marriage. So in order for Mseleku to take the other wives, like officially take the other wives, she had to go back to Home Affairs and dissolve the civil marriage to convert it to customary marriage where you are allowed to take more than one wife. So Machele could have been like, listen, if you want to take other wives, you can take them, but I'm the only wife that is going to have incwadi yomshado. Uyakhumbula kwakhala nyonini? Ngakhumbula kwakhala nyonini umfazi wephepha? He could have just said that. She could have just said that and said, you know what, ungabathatha amakhosikazi wakho, but mina angene lapho, mina nginayo incwadi yami yomshado. Umshado wami is as it stands. But she went and converted, dissolved her own marriage so that Mseleku can take the other wives. So she says that she was hurt by that because, babe. So she says that she was hurt by that because how can you guys life? She was hurt by that because guys, sorry, we are parenting here. She said that she was hurt by that because why would she go to Home Affairs and dissolve her marriage so that he could marry them, and then at the end she's like she doesn't recognize them? That should be an obvious reason for her to think her marriage is recognized by MaKhumalo. Okay. And listen, I agree with MaNgwabe when she said, listen, it was a good thing for them to meet because MaKhumalo was able to vent, because obviously with our problems as a Sejini, you can't just vent to anybody. And also, not everybody is going to understand because not everybody says Sejini. Abantu keep saying, why don't these women just leave? Abantu bavele basho kanjalo, as if it's that easy to just leave something that you have committed to. Okay. So yes, you guys, I did like this conversation. I think actually the conversation MaNgwabe no MaKhumalo might have been the highlight of this season because I think we get to understand so many of the things that have happened or been said on the show, and we also understand why people feel certain ways about certain people, and yeah, you guys. And then there was a weird scene, you guys, where MaKhumalo went to visit Sorisha. Remember, MaKhumalo was on Real Housewives of Durban for like a season, okay? She's one of the one-hit wonders, Zago Real Housewives. She was on Real Housewives, and she became friends with Sorisha on the show. Now, she's going to visit Sorisha. I did want to go because I thought that maybe they're going to have like a deep conversation where we are going. That's the thing about MaKhumalo scenes. You always think that, you're going to have this conversation that is going to be revealing about the show. And then you just get like fluffy stuff. She drove all the way from Umzumbe to visit Sorisha. I don't know where Sorisha's house is. And they sat there and they talk about social media comments that are negative and affect them. And I was like, why are we even getting this scene? Like, what was this scene supposed to be about? Okay, we are watching Uthando Nesthembu here, not Real Housewives of Durban. So I thought maybe she's going to go there and talk about the challenges that she's having, especially because now she does have a challenge in terms of relating to the other wives because ngathi akathandwa umuntu, or it's not that akathandwa umuntu, but nobody really is like fond of her and wanting to spend time with her. Remember, she was trying to get to MaKhumalo to go to the gym with her. MaKhumalo was like, nope, So that scene, I was like, I think it was meant to give us something, but it just gave us nothing. Okay, we just went there with our eyes phela ngoba silandela ama-camera, and we saw Sorisha's nice house, and they had this conversation about how they are affected by negative comments. I do understand that, yes, it's an important conversation to talk about when it comes to, social media bullying. Because you guys, I understand. I mean, even here, I don't like comments on Facebook because I feel like sometimes I have my comments on Facebook and they're like, umuntu will say, why are you talking about the Mseleku family? We are better. When I'm like, when I get judged. Even if it's just one comment, I'll be like, yes, I would read that nobody commented, then this nonsense here. So I can imagine you guys, when you're a celebrity, the comments are crazy. And I mean, they get hundreds and thousands of comments, and hundreds and thousands of those comments will be negative comments. And it will be people that are commenting as if they know you personally. That's why I always say, when we talk about the Mseleku family, we're talking from what we see on the show. We don't know them personally. So I'm sure there's so many things that we don't know that happen on the show, that happen in their lives that we don't get to see. We are only discussing the show. So even if I don't like a cast member, Uthando Nesthembu, if I met them on the street, I would act like I'm meeting a celebrity. I'll be excited to see even the person that I don't like on the show, because I understand what I see on the show is not all of them. But sometimes people on social media will act like what we see on the show is everything. You are evil. Why did you say that to this other one? So yes, you guys, but I did not feel like it was necessary for us to go all the way to Sorisha's house for that conversation. Okay. I just didn't get it. Okay. And also, you guys, I felt like, okay, maybe it's because she's struggling to find a wife to shoot with. Okay. And remember, maybe with the other wives, it's easy to just create a scene, because you can just, like, for an example, last week, Umacele went out with Abo, and they were shooting a scene where they were out spending time with each other. MaKhumalo doesn't have kids. If she's not shooting with Mseleku, she's shooting with the other wives. And then if there is tension between her and the other wives, then she has to find somebody outside of the family to shoot with. So maybe it was that case where she needed to shoot something and had to find a person to shoot with, and Sorisha was available. So maybe you guys listen. Then we got Umayeni. Listen, Umayeni irritated me this episode, because I feel like Umayeni has a lot to say. Umayeni has a lot to say about MaKhumalo, and has a lot that she could say. Let me say a lot that she could say, because she's not saying it. She has a lot that she could say about MaKhumalo, and she has a lot that she could say about MaNgwabe, because we all know with MaNgwabe there's something about them knowing each other before they were married to the Mseleku family and all of that. Now, but every time she speaks about things, she speaks in parables. Like every time I'm listening to Mayeni, sometimes I feel like I'm reading the Bible. Like I'm trying to figure out who is who in this story. I'm like, is she talking about MaKhumalo? Is she talking about MaNgwabe? Why wouldn't you just talk and say, listen, this is what I've gone through. This person did. You are in a therapy session anyway, This person did it to me, and then I responded this way, and this is what happened. And this is what I'm dealing with. I feel like when I respond this way, when this person is doing this, she speaks in parables, and she'll be like, when someone has done something bad to you, and then when you confront the person, you will look like you are a bad person. It's not like I have grudges, but I do have grudges, but I don't have grudges. I am like, that conversation just really irritated me, because I'm like, okay, the only thing we can take from that is that therapy was good for Mayeni. She was going through a lot, emsebenzini, and she was being bullied, and she went to therapy. Therapy worked for her, and now this was like the last therapy session. So I understand that part of it, but the rest of it was just like, we might as well go and read the book of, even Genesis is better, because Genesis is when the God was making creating everything. It's better. He created the sea, he created the trees. It's even simpler. It was like Angazi reading parables. Listening to Umayya is like reading Angazi. What is the most complicated book in the Bible? It was like that, when you're like, what the hell am I reading? Listening to Umayya in this episode, it was like that. I was like, I would really love for you to just tell us, what did MaKhumalo do to you? What did MaNgwabe do to you? So that we can just understand, okay? Maybe we can even support you not liking them, because we do understand what they did. So that part of it, I really didn't understand, you guys. So anyway, I do feel like it was a great thing that the show got to show us that doing therapy when you're going through something is not a bad thing, because we don't do that as much, guys, as Black people. Thina sihlala esithini ye-toilet, ukhulume wedwa, and there you are, the problem is solved. Okay. You solve your problem by speaking to yourself while you're sitting in the toilet seat. I don't know if I'm the only one that does that. I am my own therapist. Okay. You can't tell me nothing. Okay. So no, I think I'm skipping comments here. I just want to read a few comments, you guys, and then get back to it. Thank you so much for everybody, you guys, that is here. The real Mwane Kwabeni, happy Easter, everyone. Happy Easter to you too. I'm from work. Morning, Eric. Hello, hello, hello. Were you working night shift or you in another country? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Lupita. Thank you so much for being here. MaKhumalo doesn't listen. I think it's that is the situation of she listens to respond. You know where they say go to listen to understand. You know, some people listen to respond. I think she listens to respond because a lot of the time she's trying to convince you that she really has a good point, and sometimes she does have a good point, but then listen to the other person's point of view first you um before you respond, because the other person has to be understood before now you can be understood. Okay, so I do feel like that, you guys. It's a struggle, and I don't feel like she sees that she does that. Will not go physically, but will join a live stream coming from the stadium. Okay, okay, okay. Good for you. Phela manje we can attend church online. She failed to listen to MaNgwabe even at the end of the episode. Yes, we're going to talk about that. She gaslit her and doesn't respond to what other person is saying. She focuses on what she prepared to say to the person. Yes, you guys. And also, you can't be a therapist to your sister wife. I remember on Sister Wife, the show Sister Wives, that's what the other wives complained about when it comes to Ruben. Because Ruben's relationship with Cody was going well, and Bona they were struggling with their relationship with Cody, she will always want to offer them advice like, I know what to do with Cody. You know, if you can just do it like this, Cody will respond kahle, you know, and they were upset about that. You can't be a therapist if you're trying to be a friend or you're trying to be just a family member that has a good relationship. Just calm down and listen to the person. So I do feel like that, you guys. Even that conversation with MaNgwabe, it didn't go so well. Okay, and so it says here, MaKhumalo is a performer. She's busy and is a real problem to the other wives, but Musa Mseleku is also making it worse, you guys. He really is. You know what broke yesterday when Macele spoke about how she went to Home Affairs to change her marriage contract to allow Musa to get the other wives. And she shared that before, you guys. I think sometimes we just don't pay enough attention. I do feel like people will say, oh, Macele knew what she was getting into. Yes, she knew what she was getting into, but at the same time, she did go through and she did have to compromise a lot. And like they would all wouldn't be like official wives like they are with equal standing had she not done that, you know. So yeah, I also thought, oh wow, okay. And when she said that was my mistake, yes, because she could have just refused, you guys. She could have been like, listen, I don't have a problem with you taking otherwise, but I'm not changing my marriage. You know, I'm not changing the marriage that we are contracted in. I'm going to leave it as it is, but you do what you want to do with your other wives. So I think when she said it was a mistake, she's saying, listen, people are not grateful for what I did so that they could be here. So why did I make that sacrifice? And I do think it's a mistake, you guys. I wouldn't have done it. Okay. I just would not have done it. Exactly. Seleku needs to fix all this. Yes, you guys. And he always speaks as if they are the ones that don't get along, but I feel like he contributes to that. I find it interesting that the otherwise are not plotting to be confrontational with MaKhumalo, yet she has made it her mission to do just for the show. In the long run, she harms her. Listen, you guys, I do feel people will say, the other wives don't like MaKhumalo. But I don't feel like they've gone out of their way to make her feel that way. Maybe Mayeni at some point, especially in previous seasons, I think they've tried to accommodate her. I think the times that we felt like, you know, remember last season when they were sitting at the table, she was inviting them and both of them said no. And then she left and they laughed. I did feel like those people were just mean to MaKhumalo. But when people are sitting down now to explain themselves, you know, it's like, oh, okay, now I get it. Okay, now I get it. It's not really about you not liking MaKhumalo. You have your own reasons with Umyeni Wako. So I don't feel like they are plotting against MaKhumalo. Even the fact that even Ama sit downs, when she's inviting them for the sit downs, they do go because they're assuming they are going to have these conversations with her that are probably going to be productive and they're going to move them forward. But when they sit down to talk, it doesn't go as well. So Yes, you guys. And Paul Laura says a relationship with each of the wives, and then um, it harms her relationship, or it's a continuation, her relationship with each of the wives, and then she cries foul. She and Musa planned this. Uyingane uMaKhumalo. The show needs a reunion hosted by. Paul, you're so messy for that. Hey, hosted by, let's see how. Where are the producers? Because we did this reunion. We need a reunion. We need like a tell all, you know. We need a tell. They don't usually do a reunion for family reality shows in South Africa. I haven't seen it, but it would be great, you know, to have a reunion. And yeah, I vote Lassie as the I vote Lassie as the host because that would just add a little bit of drama in there. Okay. I would love that, you guys. Okay, let me read one more comment and then we can continue with the review because there's one more scene or two scenes that I haven't spoken about. Oh my God, when Macele spoke about how Musa said, you how did I forget that? Rewind, okay? Rewind. Rewind, guys. So the first thing that Macele says that hurt her, thank you so much, the real Ncwane Kwabeni, thank you so much for that. The first thing that she said really hurts her when it comes to MaKhumalo is MaKhumalo saying that she recognized the marriages. Two, the second thing was that uMaKhumalo said last year she has done so much for Macele. She has even gone to Macele's home, Makune event. You know, she would go there, she would be invited, and she would help to MC for free. I was like, this one is going to haunt MaKhumalo for a long time. When I think about it, guys, I think MaKhumalo really at the time she was just trying to, because she was had to remember, guys, that she was told Macele is not coming, Mayen is not coming. Her man is not explaining to her really why Macele is not coming. And then she's thinking, you know, when somebody has hurt you, now you start thinking about all of the things that you've done for them, you know? The difference is that with us, we are thinking about it, but we're not saying it on national TV. But you'll be at your house, be like, this person, ngake ngamenzela ukuthi nokuthi nokuthi nokuthi, but she has a nerve yokuthi athi akeze emcimbini wami. I think that's what MaKhumalo was going through, to be honest. Okay, to say I've done so many things for this person, to say she's not coming to umembeso wami. Okay, now you guys, the thing about it is that it was on national TV. Okay, and I'm sure it stuck with uMacele because I'm sure uMacele didn't even think ukuthi payment was for consideration. She didn't think ukuthi she needs to think about payment when it comes to MaKhumalo, because remember, I guess they're trying to convince us ukuthi they are all one family, you know. Lunge ozongibasela ifan la. So they're trying to convince us ukuthi they are all one big family. So obviously in the family, if there is an event and there is one person that you know is good with singing and entertaining people or whatever, or they do MCing very professional, why would you get anybody else? You are going to get MaKhumalo. So now the fact that MaKhumalo mentioned ukuthi she did it for free. Now I'm sure to Macele is like, were we supposed to pay you? Why wouldn't we say because you need to be paid? Because we would have gotten someone else. Because Ekaya, we're not that rich to be getting celebrities as give me Tambolo as MCs. Listen, you guys, I had forgotten Utuma Kumalo even said that. I forgot about it. But when she said it, I was like, yes, she did say. She did say. So now you say what you I'm not innocent line because on lungi. You see what I'm innocent land because people will be saying, "Oh, MaKhumalo is so good-hearted." I'm like, all of them are good-hearted at some point, but the fact that she's reminding them, "Because I do this and this," she's just human like everybody else. She was upset at the time and she was counting everything that she had done for Macele, even saying she went to an event. Remember when they were celebrating the 20th anniversary? She did a speech and everything. There, I'm sure all of those things she did for free. But now she's like, "Why was I doing all of these things for free if you're not going to come to my event?" So it says here, there was hectic. How much was the fee and bill? I guess maybe she does have a fee because she does MC. I believe you guys professional. Like you can hire Uma Kumalo to come MC professional. You can hire her as a speaker. So maybe she was thinking, I could be making 50,000 rand somewhere else. I'm here emceeing at your event, and you're not even gonna say thank you. I'm sure okay, she did say thank you. But yeah, maybe she does it with you. She was like, "Ooh, I could be making a lot of money somewhere else." And thank you for reminding me of that. The real one. Can you talk about the hate between Shibas and Tobile? I don't know whether I came late. Ubusukhulumile ngayo. Listen, you guys, I feel this is what I said with Mayen, that I feel like Mayen speaks in parable. We're never gonna get the truth from MaKhumalo, guys. We're never going to get it because I feel like whatever happened between MaKhumalo and Mayeni doesn't present MaKhumalo in a good way. I think at the beginning of their marriages, she must have done something that really upset Mayeni. To a point where Mayeni was like, this one, and Gimfune to for some reason. So we're never going to get that from MaKhumalo because MaKhumalo is determined for us to think that she's just this innocent young wife that came into the family and nobody wanted to accept her. Our only hope is Umayeni. But Mayeni irritates me because she'll be telling a story and speaking in, she won't say the names, you know? She won't say the names. She won't say it. She'll be like, a person will be hurting my feelings. So that's what I was saying, that I feel like in this episode, especially, it irritated me because I'm like, but what are you saying, Mayeni? Just give us the names. What happened? Okay. So even though you guys, everybody will insist that they don't hate each other. Mayeni will say, I don't hate anybody. She even said at some point that she was shocked when it was said that she hates MaKhumalo, like the viewers after one season. She's like, I don't hate MaKhumalo. It's just that if I don't want to do something, I'm not gonna do it. And if at that time, that's all. Okay. So then you guys, the next scene was MaNgwabe sitting with MaKhumalo. Remember, MaKhumalo had said MaNgwabe has not been herself, so she wants to sit down with her and find out what's going on. That's what I'm saying, you guys. That she's like somebody said MaKhumalo is like a deputy husband. You know, she is like a deputy husband anyway. You know, MaNgwabe has not been herself. Let me sit down with her. And I'm like, hey, it's probably Musa Mseleku's idea because even though Musa Mseleku is always saying bad things about MaNgwabe, here's the sit down, you guys, that I would really die to see a sit down between MaNgwabe and Umayeni. Because those are the two wives you hardly ever see interact just like alone without the other wives. I have never, maybe I forgot about it, but I don't remember MaNgwabe having a sit down with Umayeni. I would love to see that because I also feel like there are issues there that we don't hear about. Okay. So it says here, she says to MaNgwabe, I've noticed to go to most of the time when we are together, usuke uthulile and you're not yourself. Okay. And in the diary session, MaKhumalo says ukuthi she feels like MaNgwabe changed when Umusa started talking about getting the fifth wife. So ever since that whole fight of them saying they don't want to number 5, MaNgwabe has not been the same. MaNgwabe in the diary session said, listen, we used to be friends with Utobile. The thing that changed our relationship, I think, is one. Remember, they had that gate fight. You know, when the father was driving the kids and the father asked MaNgwabe's kids to go close the gate. And MaNgwabe was upset about that. Okay, they had that fight where MaNgwabe was saying, listen, Ubabako should not be the one to drive our kids to school. It's weird because when he does something wrong, askwazi ukumkhuza because, of course, Ubaba wasemzini, you know, that kind of a situation. She says it was that. What was the second reason that she gave? And also she says she's busy with work. Okay. She says she's busy with work, MaNgwabe. So obviously she doesn't have a lot of time to spend with MaKhumalo. That is the thing that has affected their relationship. But other than that, she didn't state anything else. Okay. And it's not, I don't think that it's weird that because of their fights about the father, the relationship is weird because I mean, Utobile is always going to defend her father, but at the same time, MaNgwabe is one person that knows how to stand up for herself. If something is wrong, something is wrong. So I feel like, yeah, that's understandable. Because afterwards, things are going to be weird between the two of them. And MaKhumalo says, you guys, the vibe, MaNgwabe has changed, but Yena, her vibe has never changed. She says, Mina, my vibe is the same, but her vibe. Yes, what guys, sometimes I'm like, yes, go to MaKhumalo. Sometimes she will say things that will make her be hated by other wives. Okay? Because if you want to relate to the sister, I'll be like, listen, I understand. We've been going through a lot with this man. Okay. Even I feel like this and this and this. And sometimes I struggle with this and this and this. And I'm feeling I'm happy you're in the same place that I'm in. Don't be like a perfect person now that is gonna come and say, listen, Mina, I haven't changed, Mina. Mina ngisayo lo MaKhumalo ngangivele ngiwona ku-season 1. You know, if I be my guy change, but wena nje sewuvele uthule nje. Obviously, MaNgwabe is gonna be like, yimi problem. Like guys, that conversation, I was like, let me go check. Guys, because sometimes I think it's important to remember somebody's age because they, even though they are the wives, I'm saying they're different ages. So guys, I think Uma Tel is approaching her 50s. I think Umayeni is like our age, like go 44, 45. And then MaNgwabe is right after. She must be like 43, 42. MaNgwabe, I think she's still in her 30s, you guys. So I think sometimes you have to remember that. It's a good team. So the way I I was like, hey, that's in hand, you know. So I was like, maybe even the age guys contribute, but 30s is not a young a child. I mean, in your 30s, you are a grown up woman, grown up, grown up. But sometimes I just have to remind myself, because, you know, they're not in the same age sometimes. So, as using the way as the show con, you know. So, MaNgwabe guys has always said, because I'm meeting the family. I am a border. She will say that every diary session, Magna family, she'll be like, I hate my family meetings. They bore me. So by the time I get there, and she has said before, because every time Mom Mseleku calls a meeting, it's because he's up to something. He wants to get away with something. So she really doesn't like the meeting. So that's why when she's there, her body is there, but her mind is somewhere else because at our time, my family meeting. That's why it's different for her. Okay. Then she asked MaKhumalo, "Well, how do you feel about?" Because I feel like the whole purpose of the meeting for MaKhumalo was to talk about MaNgwabe, how MaNgwabe has changed, what's the problem with MaNgwabe. But MaNgwabe changed it around, and she was like, "How do you feel about? How do you feel now about the fact that Umayeni, Nomacele didn't come to your event?" And listen to what MaKhumalo said. MaKhumalo says, listen, Mina, I was willing to take it as it was. It was okay. I invited them. They didn't come. It ends there. Let's move forward. Okay. But did it happen like that? No. Because even after when we started the season, the first thing MaKhumalo spoke about was, I need to speak to MaKhumalo. I need to have a sit down with Umacele. I need to have a sit down with Umacele. So I was like, but that's not true, because even this season you still wanted to talk about why people didn't come to your members. So why are you saying you wanted it to end there? And then she says they had a sit down with Umacele, and she felt like in that sit down the problems are between Umacele no Mseleku, because they have their own thing going on in their own bedroom. So my problems are is just the two of them. So I guess she feels she needs to be out of that. She's not part of that. My problems, no Musa are their problems. She's not part of them. I agree with that, you guys, because I do feel like my agreements Musa no Macele, my agreements Musa no Macele. Umusa was the one that was supposed to fulfill my promises that he had made, you know. And if he didn't, then Umacele needs to confront him about that. The other wives have nothing to do with that. I get that, you guys. However, I do feel like MaKhumalo needs to address the things that were said when they were sitting down with Musa, and Musa was saying, "Ngicela ungabusa abaseva abantu abangakufuni." And she didn't disagree with that. She didn't say there when Musa said, abakufuni, she didn't say no, but that's not true. I don't think ukuthi abangifuni. The fact that she was like, you know what, if you're saying that, that is what I'll do. If I'm the other wife, I'm going to think, oh, she thinks that I don't like her. And then if now you are coming and saying, as somebody said, Jimin, oh, Jimin noba. Ufuna uge Jimin noba. So I get why you might is like, I bought Jim with who now? Because I'm phone, you know. You sat there and agreed with your husband, what's a sick phone. So now why are you trying to now act like you want to spend time with me? You know? So I feel like even though my issues are between Umacele and no Musa, but there's still issues between her and the other wives, and she's not addressing them. She's talking about wena inkinga yakho kulamanye amakhosikazi, wena inkinga yakho, wena uthuli masekumameeting, wena awuzi kumembe so wena udelusional. Guys, uMaKhumalo uzohonta udelusion. Yabona the delusional. Hey, sizoyizwa one day from uMaKhumalo. And umayeni one day she'll be sitting in a diary session, she'll be like, hey, angazi ngoba mina kuthiwa delusional. And then she says that about Umacala, and then she says, with umayeni, I don't know, because even when you try to talk to her, it's hard to talk to umayeni. And I get that, you guys. I guess with a perspective, MaKhumalo of Bello is like that because she expected the conversation able to go a certain way. Guys, listen. When we began this season, the issue was that Umayeni Macele did not attend Macele's wedding. No, man. MaKhumalo's members. Now, when you call Umayeni to come sit down with you, Umayeni is thinking maybe they'd address that because at the end it was said because they don't like MaKhumalo, and MaKhumalo had an issue with which Umayeni went to her house engekho. So Umayeni now uzobucabanga ukuthi oh so njobe ngibiza kushuthi ufuna sihlangane sikhulume ngalezo zinto eziserious. But what happened when they were sitting down? MaKhumalo wanted to talk about umpilo, which is what made Umayeni angry because Umayeni was like, hey bo, ungisusa kwami to talk about issue yokuthi umpilo akangibizanga ngomama, something that was addressed then. Uyabona Leon. So I feel like that's the reason that sit down didn't go so well. But she is saying to Umayeni, the problem ngoMayeni. She's saying to MaNgwabe, the problem ngoMayeni is that she's delusional. When you are trying to talk to her, she will pretend as if there's no problem, you know? And so it's hard to even move forward with the conversation. That is her perspective, you guys. And I think it's true for her. But I don't think it's because Mayeni is delusional. It's because Mayeni wants you to talk about the real problems. No, don't call me to talk about your favorite child here, Umpilo. Let's talk about what you really did. That's what Mayeni wants. That's how I feel, you know. So she says, Mayeni is delusional. And I was like, yo, sisazobuza lo delusional. Until season 10, sizoza bekhuluma ngo delusional. But anyway, you guys, I feel like we're moving towards the end of the season. So I do feel like we're not going to get the trip this season. I don't feel like, because we usually get a trip like mid-season, whether the wives are going on a trip themselves. Maybe it was hard to organize a trip because they're not getting along right now. Or maybe they're going to an outing as a family, like all of them. We're not getting that. I think we're in episode, no. We're in episode 10. I'm thinking about Real Housewives now. We're in episode 10. There's 15 episodes from what I saw. So there's 5 episodes left. I don't know if we can get a trip in these 5 episodes, especially if they haven't spoken about it yet. But anything can happen, you guys. So, so Celeste say, by the way, Zola is joining us from Facebook. Welcome to the people that are who watching us from Facebook. Mike always has to know ukuthi uyena iceleb la Mseleku. She likes being the one who is the it wife, boring much, you know. I think you guys, even when it comes to like celebrity functions and stuff, I think MaKhumalo gets invited more. I think she's just the one that is more interested in that life more than the other one. The other ones are like on the show and then they're doing their businesses, they're going to work and all of that. I think she's the one that is like more interested in the entertainment, because I think even the shows that they're doing, I think she's the one that is more involved in actually initiating the process of getting the shows done by them, you know. But I always get the feeling, though, you guys, that she would love to do all of these shows with all of the wives. It's just that not all of them are always available or willing to do the show. So we know Sorisha, guys. All these women are not her friends. She meets them on the shows, nothing else. I suspect they want to cross fertilize their shows with different audiences. I guess, you guys, I guess. Yeah, I always feel like you know the friend that made an appearance on Real Housewives, the rich house or the rich house of where they were going to look at diamonds. Sorisha, I think the people like that are Sorisha's friends, not. Mm-mm. And you could see as well, even with MaKhumalo being there, you could see, like mouse in the where you feel like, this is not. Uhlala ngisho uhlele kusofa uhlele ngathi ucuphelile uzifane kuzicwece, because if it's your friend, you guys, do you really have to dress to the nines to visit your friend? If it's your friend, if my friend called me right now, I won't say go to group. Ask him, mngani phuthuma woza la. Do I really need to dress to the nines, the face beat, everything, and then mase ngifika kwakhe ngihlele kusofa ngathi ngihlele ekhoneni la sofa? No, So I feel like it's not your friend until you can put on a legging and a t-shirt and be like, or put on a pinif and be like, ngani, sengifikile, So I'm like, yeah, and these friends are just, show friends. I think Mayeni was hurt by a lot of the things. Amal said to the cameras last, oh, you mean MaKhumalo Noma Umosa, having built them a house and all herself and trying to use the cameras to head them back. All of those things were never addressed. All of those, that's why I say, Guti, yes, MaKhumalo irritates me, but Mayeni irritates me because now she was talking about things, but not direct. Just tell us, what are the issues? I was hurt by this and this and this. And then this person can respond, and then we can make a conclusion to know, okay, who's being unreasonable here? So all of them are not really willing to tell us what's going on. And hi, Dando, I'm cracking myself up at the parables. She speaks in parables. Yesterday, I was like, I'm just over. Because usually I'm trying to figure out when Umayan is talking, I'm like, okay, ukhuluma ngobala. Ukhuluma ngamacele, is it macele? Is it? Sometimes I'm like, it's MaKhumalo. And then I'm like, hi. It's yesterday I was like, you know what, I'm over it. And to try to figure out, I will wait for Mayeni one season because guys, the more they do the show, the more they reveal. So we just have to wait it out. And I don't think that Musa Mseleku is willing to let go of this show. So all we have to do is wait it out. Each season, remember you guys, it once came out that MaNgwabe had a child and nobody believed it. And what happened this season? It came out. So the more that they do the show, the more it's harder to hide certain things. At some point, we will get to know what really happened, okay? And then, hi, Sbulelo. Thanks so much for joining. Luyanda Oka said, Numa Carrier Papa, why she MC did not ask her. Listen, I thought maybe they did ask her. She was there because she does attend family events at Macele's family. And because she says she takes them as the family. The thing about it, you guys, they would say, well, in a friendship, sometimes you must not expect to get what you give, but it's very difficult, you guys. If you've given in a friendship, you want to get back. If you had an event and I showed up early in the morning, ngaxoxa mazambane or anyanisi, ngabanjani, ngawash izitsha afterwards. If I have an event, you guys, it's hard that I will not expect the same, But Umacele is like, if you want to come and be part of the family, I don't have a problem with that. But I have my own way of doing things. And my own way is that I agreed with my husband that I wasn't going to do that. So I'm not going to do that. And I think that's where they are not meeting halfway because MaKhumalo is like, if I do it for you, then you must do it for me. And Umacele is like, not necessarily because I didn't force you to do it. So you did it, but I don't want to do it, okay? so now it's a problem. Listen, you guys, I feel like if I was Estenjini, would I go? Ukuthi is such a far-fetched idea anyway for some of us. Isthembu itself is like an idea that is like foreign in a sense that why would I even be Estenjini? So now, usestenjini, now you are married to a man who's married to the other wife and the other one. Nazi izindlu zabo nanga omunye na indoda yakho lapha ya. Egcekeni ilungisa izinto naya futhi laphayana nansi futhi nangala in addition to that they tell you ukuthi lo nkosikazi laphayana back at her home kunomsebenzi now you must go guys there is another level of I don't know of demands now I must go to Macele's family's event then I'm thinking okay let me go to the event and then you get there they're like here is the microphone MC. I know, guys, it's too much. Yes, Toby, let's talk to other wives like motivational speaker. She doesn't listen to understand, but she listens to respond. She wants to force all the wives to agree with her. She wants to control others. And that is going to push herself away from the other wives, because if they don't feel understood, they're not gonna wanna be around her. And that's not a good thing, because I think MaKhumalo does want everybody to look like unity. Unity Hall. Konje ngakuphi iphi res konje kuthiwa Unity Hall. Tobile said it herself that every time there's a meeting, she watches how others behave. Usuke eyocupha abanye. So that's ezobabizela meeting one by one. Ufuna ukuba phatha bakhuleke kuye ngoba unemali. Ayi mina ngeke guys. I think if you remember what Pumelelo's girlfriend said, ukuthi she doesn't mind his temp, but she just doesn't want to know what the other girl is doing with the boyfriend. Okay. No, I feel like I will be like that. I will be like, listen, okay, fine, you are together, but don't involve me in your things, okay? Paul Laura, 199 rand. Thank you so much, guys. You can actually give a super chat over here. Thank you so much for that. And Paul Laura, this is a lot, okay? This is a lot. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. I hope I was able to highlight it. I hope you guys can see it in the chat section. Happy Easter, Dano and family. Isonto lethu. I am church. We are churching with gossip. She even said Mayeni is Dululu. Yes, she said Mayeni is Dululu. Mayeni is not gonna like that. If you are trying to build a friendship with somebody, the thing that you should not be saying about that person is that they are Tululu, because they're not gonna like it. And that's not really going to be a good thing for the two of you. That she does not like the fact that you said that. I don't get it, you guys. Okay, I don't get it. And then you guys, there was Agnes Mabena. Hello, Agnes. Zuzu, Tobela always gossip and said hurtful things about others. She said Mayeni is delusional, and she said a lot of nonsense. When Mayeni retaliates, her fans will say Mayeni uyadelel. I feel like that, you guys, and I do feel like the theme from the beginning of the show had always been Mayeni hates MaKhumalo. And there was time when I really also did believe that. But I started really watching closely the things that MaKhumalo would say. Even the other time when she was saying, fanele zame ukuzwana, especially masithi siyakholwa. What is that, guys? There are things that when you say you're not making efforts to get along with that person, especially masithi siyakholwa, referring to Mayeni. Hey, but asikholweni, guys, So when I started really listening to things that she says, especially in data sessions about Mayeni, I was like, this one is also not innocent. So it has always looked like Mayeni is the one that really hates MaKhumalo. But I think if we are being honest, they both don't like each other and they say things. Obviously, Mayeni, it's parables. So you're like, hey, I think it's MaKhumalo la. But MaKhumalo is more direct, but she will say it as if it's not an insult. It's like it's almost backhanded, but not really. So yeah. Esithenjini guys kuyakhulunywa, so it says here, ukuvumela isithembu nje ukuzibizela inkinga bheka manje uthobile sebemhlupha kanjani. Oh my, hey, but that's the one that really would say it's the best thing that ever happened to her, Isithembu, and doesn't regret it, would do it again, kind of a situation. I think Mayeni would be the one that has opened up about it. Yeah, this thing is not easy. It's not something that I would say somebody must do it. Mayeni has said that. And I'm super late, but I'll catch you on YouTube. Okay, no problem. You can rewind on YouTube. This is a long live, guys. We need to get off. The Marfu Effect. Hello. Hi, Dado. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. Noma wethu ngwane siyacela ukhuluma isiZulu. Guys, because I have abantu abaningi abangas-understand isiZulu, so I have to accommodate. But I don't speak English complicated. I'm speaking grade 3 English, so everybody can understand, okay? So thank you so much, you guys, for being here. We appreciate it so much. Maybe I'll start a channel where I'll do things in Zulu. Like ngikhuluma isiZulu futhi lokho kumnandi kabi nje futhi. So maybe we'll do it in another channel. But on this channel, you guys, I have viewers from all over the place. So they did ask me to speak English. So I thought Even if English ungaykhulumi that much, but basic you understand. So let's speak English so that everybody can be accommodated on this channel. Anyway, you guys, that was the episode for today. I still look forward to this episode. I don't know how they ended up just cutting it on channel 103, and there was no announcement, nothing, you guys, that now they were not gonna do it on 103. So it is on channel 161. But however, you guys, if you want to catch up, you can just search on YouTube for the episodes. There are people that are posting it. I don't know how they're getting away with copyrights, because DSTV doesn't play with their content. And there's also people that are posting it on Facebook as well. If you just want to go watch the episode and then come back here and be able to enjoy the review. But I don't post ama lokuzane, full episodes. I don't want to lose my channel, okay? I like your simple English. Yes. What did she say? I'm just making an example. Macele is me with English, guys. You know, we speak the very time. Like, I'm making an example. I am making an example. You know, English, guys, it runs away sometimes. Hey, don't blame us. You know, the English people don't speak our Zulu for the same reason that it's very difficult to speak other people's language. Dano siyabonga ukuzosilunguza nathi ngapha. Thank you so much. Yes, your Facebook people. Nunuza, Nyami Noma Wetu, all of those people are on Facebook, and then I think the rest is on YouTube. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it so much that you are joining us. We will see each other, I guess, when we see each other. I am on Facebook, you guys, but I only do the lives on Facebook. When I do the reviews live on YouTube, then they also show on Facebook. Then, if you want to find me on YouTube, search for Uthando Nesthembu on YouTube. But the reviews are on Reality Buzz TV. So I do have 2 monetized channels on YouTube, you guys. So thank you so much for that. Please like the video before Pumegona. Share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. You need Tanda Kakul.